I'm so excited to join you in this introductory course on public relations, here onwards referred to as PR. This course is focused on giving you an introductory flavor of public relations, and everything you learn after this will build on some of the concepts and ideas we cover here. So in this course overall, you will get an idea of what PR looks like, what are the kinds of things one does in PR, as well as how to develop a PR plan. Of course, some of these ideas will be pretty introductory and fairly basic as well. We will begin the course by considering what public relations is and what the practice of public relations looks like. In module 2, we will walk through PR theory and situate it in close conversation with the practice of PR. In fact, here you will learn the relationship between theory and practice. In module 3, we will cover the PR process. You will look at what the PR plan is, what it looks like, and focus on research, objectives, and strategy, which are sort of the three key elements of the PR plan. In module 4, we will wrap up the course with an introduction to PR tactics. So we will look at things like how do you create a press release, what goes into putting together an event, and this will be followed by a discussion of some of the key trends in the PR and communication industries globally, as well as looking at the ways in which PR can solve or address some of the global problems. This module will introduce you to the idea of PR. We will define PR and closely look at what the practice of PR looks like across the globe. My goal is to offer you a global outlook and also to emphasize the global emergence of new communication technologies as vehicles for carrying out public relations functions. We will also be attentive to the role of culture and globalization processes, learning about the ways in which PR can adapt to a growing multicultural conversation across the globe. My hope is to highlight that there are varieties of PR practices across the globe and that you as a potential practitioner need to be attentive to that. So let's begin with a definition of public relations. First of all, you will find multiple definitions of PR if you look at the textbooks. I will draw upon two such definitions and then crystallize the common themes that resonate across these two definitions. So let's look at the first definition. Public relations is defined as the management of the relationship between an organization and its publics. So what you have here are four key terms: management, relationship, organization, publics. So let's begin with the idea that you have an organization. This is typically the organization that you are working for as a PR practitioner. And then you have publics. These are members of the audience that you are interacting with as a representative of the organization. So the publics typically refer to the various segments of people that organizations interact with. So these key terms, organizations and publics, are terms that are going to come back again and again throughout this course. As we will learn later, an organization has various publics. In fact, an organization has multiple publics it needs to be engaging with. Its employees, for instance, form one set of publics that are really important. Shareholders form another set of publics. Existing customers form yet another set. So as a practitioner, you will really need to be thinking about and be mindful of the various publics you are engaging with. One thing you will also see is that public relations functions are often categorized into different groups depending upon these different publics. So the public relations function is the management of the relationship between the organization and these various publics. The description of public relations as relationship management thus suggests that PR practitioners are boundary spanners. What are boundary spanners? Boundary spanners are people that cross across boundaries. So a PR practitioner is a boundary spanner because they are operating in the bridging or mediating space between the organization and its publics. So you are the voice of the publics within the organization, but you are also the communicator for the organization to the publics. Now let's complicate the definition of PR a little bit. So here's another definition of PR that further expands on the relationship management function and defines it a little bit more. This definition was offered by Scott Cutlip and Alan Center in one of the first PR textbooks, Effective Public Relations. Here's what they have to say. Public relations is the management function that identifies, establishes, and maintains mutually beneficial relationships between an organization and the various publics on whom its success or failure depends. Note again in this definition the two anchors of PR, the organization and the publics that determine the success or failure of the organization. So here you have a qualifying term to publics, right? Publics that define the success or failure of the organization. The qualification of the term publics here narrows down the scope of the PR exercise to key publics that are relevant to your organization, meaning that these are the publics that will actually have an effect, an impact on your organization and its success or failure. We will discuss more about key publics in the modules on theory and strategy. Also note the different elements of the management function. These elements are A, identifying mutually beneficial relationships, B, establishing these relationships, and C, maintaining them. So again, you have three different steps: identify, establish, and maintain. The maintenance function is pretty important. We will talk about that as well when we discuss strategy. Also note the qualifier mutually beneficial attached to relationships, meaning that the relationships have to be beneficial both to the organization as well as to the key publics. So public relations, once again, is a relationship management function, and what you're going to learn about throughout this module is an emphasis on how you go about maintaining and managing these relationships and what are some of the functions and roles that are attached to relationship management.